Okay, well, we have to let people know we're recording. My hair looks stupid, but that's life. Look at here go, Anita. This is Anita that was here last week.
Really?
Yeah, really.
113.57.
She's connecting. Okay. Hey, can you hear me? Yes. Yes.
Some cousin doesn't know how to verify.
Doesn't know how to do what? Can you hear me, Anita? Are you good? Can't hear me. I don't know why. I'm not muted. I don't have any idea. I have audio. It's working. I've never been where I couldn't hear the presenter. I've always been the one that they couldn't hear me, not vice versa. Let me check the Zoom stuff real quick. Okay, good. Great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go. Please mute yourself. You don't have to stop being on video. Just at the bottom left, you should see a little microphone button. If you'll just click that, you'll be muted. If you want to talk, you can raise your hand or wave at me or something crazy, whatever you want to do. Okay, love? So glad you're here. I'm sorry about everybody's not feeling 100%. It's all good. Okay. Yay. Well, let's open with prayer and we'll get started. Father God, I thank you so much for tonight. I thank you for these lovely, beautiful women, Lord God, and all the things you're doing in their lives and the comfort you're going to bring us all. But more than anything, Lord God, I'm excited about direction, because when we don't have direction, we don't have anything. We're just, like the Israelites wandering around the wilderness. And I don't want to wander for 40 years. So I thank you that you are going to give us wisdom, because you said that if we ask for wisdom, you will. And just let everything be for your glory. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. All right. So again, Anita's on. You can't see it. I'm on the Zoom. And would you unmute yourself, Anita, and tell us one fact about yourself?
Hello?
Yep, you're there. You're just not on my screen.
Okay. One fact about myself. Oh, Lordy. I'm a retired teacher.
Okay, that's one. That's all we need. She's a retired teacher. Okay, thanks. All right. Tell us your name, Vanessa.
I'm Vanessa.
Cool. All right.
I'm Monica, and I'm a twin.
What?
Not my twin.
Girl, I get you. I get. Girl, I
Twin
mean,
pass, right?
Huh?
You're twin pass, right?
No.
No, okay. No.
okay.
I'm Kristen, and
Do not say you're Connie's sister. That doesn't count.
Mm.
I feel I'm a very positive person.
Okay.
I'm Connie, and I've been a paralegal for 40 years.
She started when she was 11.
I love you for that. Quiet, not
I'm Linda, I'm a caregiver, and I've been a caregiver for 30 years.
Stars in your crown, honey.
Yes. Yeah.
Adele.
Trying to think of something unusual or different anyway.
No, it doesn't have to be. That's just Adele. No, it's okay.
I'm Adele. I taught gifted and talented kids for 15 years, and now I teach the other end of special ed.
I was always slow. I didn't know that special ed included gifted. I thought special ed were for people that had special needs and they needed extra help. And then I figured out it was all the same difference. It made my life a lot better. So obviously I'm Ellen, and there's no fact about me. Probably y'all don't know, because most of y'all kind of know me, but I don't know. I'm blatantly honest. That's my fact. Okay, and I've turned on the Zoom and all that. Does anybody not have a journal? Does anybody need a journal? Does anybody need a pen? Are we good? Okay, great. I want to just kind of take a few minutes and talk a little bit about last week. And is this distracting? Because if it is, I'll stop it. Okay, great. It hasn't moved, then it's at the end of its life, as I call it. Hey, Nancy, come on in. Don't make a face, girl. Come on. This is Nancy Alano. Wait, no, come get one of these. You have to choose one of these.
But God don't speak it.
Yeah, don't talk anything about it, girly.
Do I look at it now or later?
You can look at it now or later. Okay, Anita, you need to pick a number like 1 to 15, or I mean 1 to 20 something, so I can pick one out for you. And hopefully that somebody else doesn't have it. Tell me what number you'd like. Did you say 7? I read your lips. That's okay. I read your lips. Okay, I'm gonna read. I have to read this out loud for you. Your word is considerate. The definition is showing concern for the rights and feelings of others. Okay, this is Anita's, so I'm gonna hang on to it. Okay. Oh, these do have a purpose. They just don't have a purpose right now. So put that to the side. Okay. Last week, we talked about broken, not being crushed. What did broken mean? And I love the fact that it said no longer in working order. That really speaks to me, because every day I get up, I wonder, am I still in working order? Especially when I get up and I go, oh, my arm hurts, my shoulder hurts, my leg hurts, back to my neck, my back, my lawyer. So no longer in working order. And then we talked about some synonyms for broken that I don't really like, but we talked about shattered, fractured, smashed, damaged, ruined, busted, cracked, and fragmented. And I ask you to pick 2 words that you felt at some point, either now or in the past, kind of either how you felt or maybe, that described you. Okay, what I want you to do right now is I want you to look at the adjective you took out of the basket. Actually, I want you to pass it back around and get one more. That's why I gave everybody a definition, so you didn't have to think about it. Anita, I'm going to draw for you.
Okay.
I don't like either one of my words. Can I put them back in this?
Why do No.
I get words that I don't have?
Okay, would y'all just pass it back around? They'll give it to me. Y'all are hilarious.
While you're there.
Kristen,
She can't do anything. You
Kristen's
put it
got
back.
words she can't pronounce, much less know what they mean.
I gave her a definition. Okay, Anita, I'm gonna reach in here not blindfolded, but not look. Okay, you got 13. And this is one I almost left out of the basket, but I didn't. Frank, characterized by directness in manner or speech. I should probably just stick that to my head. But Frank is your other one. So I want you to look at the words, and I want you to tell me, do the words that you picked out, this one I want you to think about. Does it resonate with you? If not, why not? Has this word ever been used to describe you? Or if you don't like the exact word, something like it? And do you wish that someone would use this word to describe you? So that's kind of a threefold. Has it ever been used to describe you? Do you resonate with it at all? Yes or no? And if not, why not? And do you wish someone would speak this over you? I'm gonna pick 2 for me, which will be hilarious since I'm the one that made them, but it doesn't matter. God can still send me something to encourage me. This makes me giggle. Okay, well, okay. Rolling up in here with your Brahmin purse. I know, isn't it pretty? I said she's gonna be rolling up in here in her Brahmin purse over here.
Oh.
Oh, I understand completely. Okay. Somebody want to go first?
Oh, I will.
Okay, tell me. Kristen,
Oh, I will.
you're so bashful, girl.
Okay. Intuitive. Now, this is the definition. Obtained through instinctive knowledge.
Okay, smaller words.
Do you ever just kind of know something about somebody or a situation and there's really no reason for you to know that?
Yes. let me
So in other words,
scratch off
yes,
my note.
that word has,
Yes.
you, okay, and what's the other one?
Gregarious,
Chatty.
okay, temperamentally seeking and enjoying the company of others.
Yeah.
You just could have said chatty.
Well,
Said-
they love being around people. They're very
Okay,
positive
well,
and
I gotta
happy.
change my
It's
thing.
even better than chat.
I know, but chatty is like, I'm happy, I'm this, I engage well with others.
Okay, so yes, those are my 2 words, and I put no for the first question, which can't remember it. But now I changed it to yes. And then the second question, can't remember, but I put maybe.
Okay.
Resonate with you, yes or no?
Maybe, because I didn't know what the words meant, but yes, they do, so
Okay,
now
well,
I'm
good.
on a yes.
Okay,
And then the last question was what?
Do you wish someone would use those words to describe you?
No, simpler words.
okay, but would you like for people to say, she kind of gets me even though she doesn't know what's happening?
Oh, yeah, people tell me.
Exactly, that's intuitive.
Oh, okay.
And then gregarious is just, you're kind of happy and engaging, and yes, you
Oh,
would
yeah.
love for people to say
I'd
that
like to
about
be
you.
around.
I do.
Yes, and love to be around people.
Okay.
Miss Diane!
So now it's a yes again.
Okay,
So all the no's were yes.
we're gonna have to give her a chair. Would you grab that? I don't know what's going on with that chair over there. Well, I'm sorry, we're already rolling here, girlfriend. Okay. I'm not putting you in the dunce chair.
No, Miss Diane, come right here. Miss Adele moved for you.
She's being so sweet.
Warmed your chair. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna keep it cold in
And
here.
then when you have a second, grab 2 out of here.
Okay, well, now yes.
Right.
Perfect for me.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll do.
Okay. Okay, then Anita, you'll be next.
My first one was persistent. And when I first saw it, I thought of Ellen because she does not give up on her health goals. And I'm so proud of her for that.
Thanks.
And she encourages me. And that's why I'm this size and not 50, 60, 80 pounds more than this.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
So yeah, I have been described as that, not necessarily in a good way, but like, God, I want this. And then 3 hours later, God, I said I want this. And then the next day, I don't stop that. And it's probably not very polite, but it's what I do. All right. And yeah, I'm happy to be that way because that's how I am. There you go. And yes, it resonates with me. Sensible. Yeah, I'm sensible sometimes, most of the time, I guess. I don't think anyone's ever directly told me I'm sensible. But it doesn't sound like a fun thing that people would call you. So no, I don't really want them to call me that.
Okay, what does the definition say though?
Able to feel or perceive. But that's not my.
Okay,
You have to
use
your
the definition that came out of
Okay.
the definition book.
Oh, okay, out of the definition book, yes.
You're
Yes,
thinking
and yes.
sensible as in I am a boring person.
Yes,
No, sensible as in what it says. What does it say?
okay.
Tell me again. What
Able
it says.
to feel or perceive.
Do you think you are able to
Yes,
feel or perceive?
yes.
I agree. Because sometimes we think sensible is I bought shoes that are not uncomfortable and they're ugly,
Yeah, like these.
like the ones I have on my feet. Okay. Sensible is that we're able to feel other people's feelings and
Yeah.
and care about them. Miss Diane, would you please get 2 of these for me, love?
What am I gonna do?
Just open them in a second, see if they resonate with you. Who's next?
Miss Anita, you said?
Oh, yeah, Anita, go, baby. I'm sorry. Thank you, Connie.
Welcome.
Mine were considerate and frank. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm trying to hit another button and try to.
You look like you could. I probably have been described as frank before or sarcastic or any of those
That
kind
is
of.
not the same thing.
I
Do not
know,
put
but
words in
I've
my
been
mouth.
described as all of those. Very, very frank. I do kind of resonate with it.
Okay.
Mainly, and it's not because of the meaning, because it was my husband's middle name.
Oh.
So it was kind of odd that you picked that and gave it to me. Um,
And you know what's crazy about that? I swear to you, I almost pulled that out of the pile because I thought someone's going to think this is a negative.
and a lot of
Love
people,
how God just orchestrates every little thing.
yeah, it kind of one of those things that it's, kind of tells you, yep, you should have been participating tonight. Yeah. Uh, one of those little signs that you get, but yes, it was his middle name. It's also my son's middle name. So anyway, and I would like people to consider me as considerate.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. All right. I'm going to eventually get to where I'm going. Who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
I got ambitious, having a strong desire for success or achievement. Yes, I have been told that I'm like that.
Yep. Go ahead.
Does it resonate with me? Yes. Do I wish someone would tell me that? They have. My other word is witty, demonstrating striking cleverness and humor. On certain situations, I'm sorry.
I can't even get a breath. I'm dying over here. Oh, my
That had been
soul.
the first one you chose.
No, it was
Oh.
what I chose, 30.
Okay.
I mean, no, I don't think people have called me, okay, maybe.
Maybe they just say it behind her back.
Or is that- Anybody's ever come up and said, hey, man, I think you're funny.
Yes, they have.
Well, maybe,
Maybe clever.
maybe clever.
Okay.
Okay. Does it resonate with me? Eh,
Okay. Do you wish somebody would say that?
Sure, yeah.
Do you think it's a negative word?
No, I
Okay.
don't think it's a negative word.
Okay.
I just don't necessarily find myself clever.
What?
But see, that's the thing. We don't see ourselves as others see us.
Oh,
And that's what this exercise is about. I picked 30 words. And I believe God lets us draw the ones we should, just like she got Frank when I had no clue about Frank for her. And it meant something to her. And my words are hilarious to me. So we'll see. But okay.
Was Frank 7?
Well, yes.
That's, okay, so she directly.
She got 7 and 13.
She directly picked.
She
that.
directly picked. It wasn't that I picked it for her. I picked the
Yeah.
second one for her. So, okay. Who wants to go next?
oh,
I know,
Okay.
yes, I have courteous, characterized by politeness and gracious.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's hard.
I'm sorry you got the cheerleaders going already.
So, yeah, has it ever been used to describe me as? Does it resonate? Yes. And, when someone would describe it, I have described those words to me, yes.
Okay.
The other one is, affectionate. Having a strong warmth for fondness. Yes, it has been described. Does it resonate? Wish someone would use those words. I have used them.
So does that make you, does that boost you?
It really don't boost me.
It just affirms you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Make you sad?
No, it doesn't make me
Okay.
sad. Yeah, never know. Yes, I can say it does boost me.
I think
Doesn't
it,
make me sad.
no, but I think it should, I think what happens is, again, and you know what you're saying, and this is what I hear, and if I'm wrong, please tell me. When something has been said about you over and over and over, sometimes we begin to go, that's not a big deal.
Right.
And it's a huge deal because I hate, this is on recording, so I gotta be careful what I say. I had a conversation with someone today who is not warm or fuzzy. When things are not going well, they don't know how to cope. And so their way to cope is they don't. So they withdraw. And so to say that they've said one of the reasons I'm choosing the path of my life that I am is because I am not at this moment in my life warm and fuzzy. She is in some areas of her life, but in the, where she would really need to be, that's not how God has made her. Now that can change. God can change us all. But because that is part of your DNA, in my opinion, you just go, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
Okay. But it's a huge deal, especially if it's someone that strives to be compassionate because they just don't feel it. You know, it talks about in the Bible, weep with those that weep. And it took me a long time to not be like, suck it up, Buttercup. Because I have always just had to suck it up. So when it was talking about weep with those, like I literally have a friend, if I said her name and everybody knows her, they go, yep. You could be, I don't care what's happened in your life. She will come and she will cry with you. She doesn't mean to, but she is a ministry of tears. She'll just come sit with you and just cry. And you feel so much better when she leaves. You're like, God, she's worse than me. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She feels, she's such an, has so much empathy. As far as an empath, then I feel like all of a sudden I just stepped into, new age weirdness. But she really does feel your pain. And there's other people that literally are like, I got nothing. They don't feel it at all. So I don't take it for granted because it just oozes out of your pores, obviously. Okay, who's next?
I am passionate, having or expressing strong emotions. Yes. What's the word?
Does it
How about-
resonate?
Does it resonate with you?
Yes,
And has somebody described you as passionate?
yes.
And do you want them to?
Yeah. Mhm.
Does it sometimes though make you feel like maybe I shouldn't be so passionate?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do I need to dial it back a little?
Yeah, passion, yeah, that's the part that I don't like, it's hard to let go, yeah.
Okay.
And then rational, having its source in or being guided by intellect.
You said rational. I'm just making sure that she can hear because I'm not sure she can hear what everybody's saying.
Oh,
Okay.
rational, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But how do you, I guess my question is, how do you feel about those words?
They're safe.
Did you say safe? Okay.
And then if by being rational, you don't take a chance because you talk yourself out of it. You choose a safe route versus.
Choosing a safe route. I think sometimes those of us that are really, really rational may find it a little harder to trust God. Because sometimes he's telling us, you need to jump off that cliff, girl. You're like, you see, I'm waiting on a ladder. I'm waiting on a bridge. I'm waiting on something. And so always, all the times that we moved and all the things that we've done, I remember I looked at women, I said, no matter where God sends us, you never walked in here and said, we're moving. And I said, where? And you went, I don't know. God just said, move. And I always think about Abraham and Sarah. He was like, we're going to go in and okay, baby, let me tell you what's happening. We moving. Where are we going, honey? I don't know. How much stuff should I bring? I don't know. How long are we going to go? I don't know that either. Y'all, I can't, every time something, that is what I measure every decision against is Abraham telling us that we're going because I just don't think I've ever had to do anything that huge. Yeah, so that's good though. Okay. Miss Monica, since you're sitting there looking so beautiful.
Generous is a word, willing to give and share unspendable. Honestly, I don't think I'm generous.
You don't.
No one has ever said you were generous?
I think so.
No one's ever said something like,
But I think I don't know. I don't know anybody that feel like that.
Generous.
Didn't you bring
To
her
a
last
circle,
week because
I
her
think.
car was in the shop?
It's still
And
the same.
still.
Okay, generous.
you put yourself out
You went out
to
of
help
your way
someone
to
else.
do something for somebody else.
But I think really go off the way though. I don't feel like I.
Okay, we're circling back to what I just said to her.
Mhm.
You just do because that's who you
Because
are.
it needs to be done, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
That's correct.
That's generous. Yeah,
Well-
but a lot of people aren't like that.
Okay, I
Y'all didn't hear Miss Diane? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. She just thought of something she forgot to do.
Okay.
I think you're thinking like, what do you think generous would look like? Oh, okay, I'm saying, okay, if somebody was generous, what would it look like if somebody was being generous to you?
I can't say give me my last, but I would do that too. I don't know.
Okay, all right, what's your other word?
Okay, I'm June, I'll say that. My next
I have a
word is
question
diligent.
for her. Do you think generosity only becomes when you give monetarily?
No, she means is all your thing, it is your definition of generosity tied to money.
Tied to money? Is that where you have a hard time with it?
I just dismissed it when I read it, to be honest, I just didn't think I was, I didn't really go back to it, I didn't.
It makes sense, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I'm sorry.
Diligent.
Okay,
And it says characterized by care and perseverance in carrying out tasks. Okay, I'll say I'm diligent for other people, but not for myself.
okay, that's very fair.
Mhm.
Cause I will
Okay.
help somebody else before I help myself.
I think we could all look in the mirror for a second and amen you real well.
And do I think anybody ever said that I was? I don't, not that I know of.
Okay, do you wish that someone would say that about you?
Not really. But do I wanna be for myself? Yes, I do.
All right, Miss Diane, did you get two now? Did you get
Oh,
two
my
things?
goodness, it's my turn.
Might as well be your turn.
Explain exactly what.
Oh, that's right. Okay, number one, do these words resonate with you? Has anyone ever said this about you? Okay. And do you wish that somebody would say that about you?
Okay, number one, I think we have a number.
Mm-hmm,
Adaptable,
mm-hmm.
capable of fitting a particular situation or use. That's all my life been adaptable.
I love it. All your life. Absolutely.
Yeah, because every aspect of my life, I need to make sure I can follow through, so. Now, whether you said, has anyone told me that? Never has anyone said that to me?
Or they may have said something like, you're so flexible. It's so great to have you here because you just fit whatever. Yeah, they've said it. I've heard it myself.
Yeah, I've been told that. I think it's all based on childhood, when you grow up in certain things that you are made to, certain ways you're made to interact because of family situations. So that's why I said it was all my life.
Okay. Good Lord. Okay, what's the other one?
Inventive,
Inventive.
Inventive.
marked by independence and creativity in thought or action. I don't remember any particular instance of that. It may be, but I don't.
You don't feel like you like figure out new ways to do things or like how to make things better for people or create new paths probably?
No.
Well, I think you're deluded.
I don't
But
think.
you know why? Because I have seen you walk up to people and offer them an alternative. You've prayed with them and said, have you considered this? Haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Okay, well,
That's why I'm late today. I was having late. So, it was a last minute thing. She was upset and all that, but yes, but
yeah,
the
I
word-
think
the word has never been given to me.
Right.
Maybe
the
that's-
definition maybe, but not that
I
exact
mean, the
word.
definition, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, Nancy.
Sympathetic, expressing compassion or friendly fellow feelings. I think I am, but I don't feel like I am because I'm frank, like I'm very blunt. And so I think if somebody's sympathetic, almost whitewashing what someone else has done.
Tell me the
Make them feel
definition again.
better. Huh?
Tell me the definition again.
I know, expression compassion or friendly fellow feelings. So yes, I feel like that, I do that.
Okay, well then stop there. You think because you speak truth into people's life You can't be sympathetic. They are not mutually exclusive.
Okay.
I know you're sympathetic and you're also empathetic. I've known you a long time and you are very sympathetic, but you're not whiny. And that's the reason you think sympathetic goes with whiny.
Well, I'm whining for myself, but I don't take whininess from somebody else.
No, but somehow in your brain, you've got it connected with whiny and it's
Yeah.
not. Because you stand up for people and you're sympathetic, sometimes to a fault.
Yeah, probably. I stick with people a lot longer
Mhm.
than I should.
What's your second word?
Practical.
I'm sorry.
I think that is like a dirty word.
It's kind of like you.
It's by, and I'm one of these, I don't read very well either. And sometimes I have to listen to the word of my,
That's
look
okay.
it up in the dictionary, and I have hearing aids, so it read it in my.
Good for you. That's
Make sure
smart.
I got the right word. Sometimes I got the wrong word. Practical, guided by expression and observation rather than theory.
Right.
Experience, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, guided by experience. Yes, I think I am practical. I don't like being practical. I like to think of I'm just, I'm just flitty and happy and.
That's Donna.
That's
That's your friend, our friend Donna. Donna, I'm sorry you're not on here. I'm talking about you.
But, yeah, I think of practical is a dirty word.
It-
Like,
okay.
my husband, he's practical.
No,
No,
different practical.
yeah,
Because Mike is,
Mike is Mike. But,
Mike is male practical, which is totally different.
yeah, I think I'm practical.
You are.
I am.
But I think all of these are very affirming if we stop with the twist that we put on them toward ourselves. If you tell me, oh, you're practical because you think that was a positive, you said it to me.
Right.
But somehow if we say, if I said the word I'm practical, I think I'm boring. I don't ever
Right.
buy anything. I don't ever go anywhere. I'm sitting at home under a whatever. No, that's not true. Okay. If y'all want to know,
Yes.
Wowzy. I got number 27, which is sincere, open and genuine, not deceitful. I have been told that, and I think that is a high compliment because I don't ever desire to be anything but genuine. And unassuming is not arrogant. And I hope, and I have had those things said about me
Wait,
because
your word was unassuming?
unassuming, not arrogant.
Okay.
And see, when I think of unassuming, I think of the negative side of it. But I know when I look at not arrogant,
Mhm.
I always want to be not arrogant. And so, yeah, I don't have a problem with these. I think I probably, the unassuming, I have to think about a little harder than I do the sincere because those have all been said. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad. The thing is, I thought this exercise would be good because last week we talked about some synonyms, some things that were not real positive, things that we've been through. So to think that we are, we're practical and we're sincere and we are passionate and all the things that we've said, even if it hasn't overtly been said or it has been overtly said, we have a tendency to see ourselves or cut ourselves zero slack. And we've got to learn, like she's like, I don't think I'm diligent. But you know what? I bet people around you would go, good grief, she never gives up on whatever. But again, we have to turn the mirror around and say, I'm not going to give up on myself. And I think we have a tendency to put ourselves at the back of the line. And so kind of like what we talked about last week, I personally don't think we need to be at the back of the line, but I don't think we need to be at the front of the line being, I'll go back to this, arrogant. But anyway, okay. So we're going to move on and I hope that was helpful. I've rearranged a little bit. I want to go ahead and start talking this week about Ziklag. It is a part of a place in the Bible that I just think is fascinating and revealing to all of us because we have a tendency, again, to not give ourselves any grace and we give the grace to everyone else and we just think we're supposed to work it out immediately. And that you're not going to find anyone in the Bible that did that. The reason they're all in there is because they didn't figure it out immediately either. I don't know if there's anybody that did and they just left them out, but I'm going with the ones he put in there for a purpose. And I love this. I spent hours looking at all the different, researching different work, things that were said about Ziklag in the Hebrew. And I love this, the verb of Ziklag, not the noun, which was the name of the town. It says to press someone into giving up something. That literally, yeah, to press someone into giving up something. And then it says it's used to describe putting pressure on someone. How many, does everybody feel like they've got a little bit of pressure?
Seriously?
I mean, really?
Yes, how do you spell it?
Ziklag.
Okay.
And you said the noun was the town?
The noun is a town that is the southern boundary of Judea. It was part of the inheritance to Judah, tribe of Judah.
Is that a town except for certain things?
C-I-K.
It was where David went to hide from Saul. That's what we're about to talk about.
L-A.
There's a piece of chalk behind you. If you want to write it on the board, you could. Because you have excellent handwriting. I've seen you write before. Even if you do use your left hand.
Yep.
Thank you, ma'am.
That helps. You're welcome.
I love though that it says to press someone into giving up something. I just love it because I don't know about y'all, but I feel like I'm always being squished. Again, the noun version is the town, and it is the place where David ran to when Saul was trying to kill him. And if you, I don't know if you know the story of King David, I mean, King Saul and David, but David, you know, had been, you know, anointed to be the king and whatever. Well, I go, you know, if you're already the king and somebody else is trying to throw you off, you're sort of aggravated about it. So when Samuel died, David fled because he didn't want Saul to kill him. And he took 600 of his men and all their household with him, and they went to Ziklag. And it wasn't a fancy place. It was just a place that he wasn't going to get murdered. And I mean, sometimes y'all, the places we are, it isn't the palace. It isn't even our nice house. We may be living in a cave. We may be living, I don't know where, but it's just not good. David ruled, if you want to call it that, over Ziklag for 16 months. And you know what's interesting to me is that whenever you start through a valley, and we don't know if the valley is, this is Donna coming in. We don't know if the valley is going to be a month, 6 months, 2 years, or like Miss Diane said last week. You may feel like you spend your whole life that you're in a battle, especially, and I was talking to somebody today in the office. I said, we must be doing something right here at this church because I'm telling you, we are all being attacked in our health like crazy. And it's been nuts. Hey, Donna. And so anyway, so Ziklag, he ruled over it for, I'm gonna make sure I don't skip anything. Okay.
Where in the Bible is that?
Okay, I'm about to give that to you right now.
Oh,
I have a bunch of different things. It says, first, wait a second. There's a couple of different places. If you go to 1 Samuel 25, 5 and 6, it tells you where the Ziklag was given, who it was given to. It was awarded to David. They wanted to continue for him to be neutral and not constantly fight all these crazy people. Let me pull up my deal. Okay, I wanted us to look for a second, take a little side note. All the times that Saul tried to kill David, because if you're like me, I need to know things. And okay, you're already in Samuel?
1 Samuel?
Yeah, 1 Samuel 18:11. Look at that for me. Mm-hmm. What does it say?
And he suddenly hurled it at David, intending to pin him to the wall, but David escaped him twice.
Okay, so that's the first time. Okay, you got your Bible, okay, First Samuel 17, I'm sorry, 18, 17, and 21.
Saul said to David, look, I will give you my older daughter Merab in marriage if you become my warrior and fight the battles of the Lord. Saul thought, I will not lay a hand on him, but the hand of the Philistines strike him. That's 17. With
Okay,
my-
go to 21.
He thought, I will offer her to him as a trap, so that the hand of the Philistines may strike him.
Right. The whole idea with those two verses is that Saul plots that his enemies will do away with David because he was using his older daughter, as I call it, as bait. So then what would happen is him being heir to the throne, they would come after him and kill him. Saul was not a nice person. Okay, Miss Diane, you have First Samuel 19:10.
Saul tried to pin him to the wall with his spear, but David eluded him as Saul drove the spear into the wall. That night, David made good his escape.
Right, that's the second time he's tried to kill him with a spear. All right, what about Nancy, you have it, 1911?
My Bible, it's not opening.
Okay.
I'm trying to use my phone.
1911?
Saul sent men to David's house to stake it out, and then first thing in the morning to kill him. But Michal, David's wife, told him what was going on. Quickly now, make your escape tonight. If not, you'll be dead by morning.
What version is that? I love it.
The message.
I was gonna say, it sounds like the
She
message.
leapt out of the window and he made his escape.
Okay. Okay, Monica, you have 1915?
19 what?
15?
Okay. And Saul sent a messenger to David to see David, saying, bring him up to me in the bed, that I may slay him.
That didn't happen either. So let's go to 20. Vanessa, you have out yet? Are you
20 what?
1920?
1920?
And it was told Saul, saying, behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah.
Yeah, keep going, we don't know what it's pronounced.
And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied.
Okay, where do we, anybody have 22? Okay, Connie?
Finally, Saul went to Ramah himself. Arriving at the large cistern in Seku, he asked, where are Samuel and David? Someone answered, at something
Yeah.
in Ramah.
So Saul was tired of waiting.
Mhm.
So he goes, can you imagine the king is himself is coming to kill you?
Yeah.
He sent all the little, minions and that didn't work. Okay. All right. The next one is First Samuel 23:15.
What they do was, and whatever this is, Alicia, in the desert of Ziph, for he learned that Saul had come out to take his life. He read,
Yes. If it has anything else, I'm trying to pull it up myself. It was just 23:15. And then the next one is First Samuel 26:2. Okay.
you got that one?
So Saul went down to the desert of Ziph with his 3,000 select Israelite troops to search for David. He wanted-
Okay, twice. Okay, so now Saul's gone twice, plus all the minions have gone 5 times. Okay, now let's flip this for a second and let's look at First Samuel 24:3 and 4.
Okay, you said 3 and 4.
Yes, ma'am.
24, 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
24, 23.
24:3 and 4.
It
Okay.
came to the sheep pen along the way. A cave was there, and Saul went into relieve himself. David and his men were far back in the cave. The man said, "This is the day the Lord spoke of when he said to you, I will give your enemy into your hand for you to deal with as you wish." Then David crept up unnoticed and cut off a corner of Saul's robe.
That is one of my favorite verses in the Bible, because you know what he could have done? He could have crept up and stabbed him in the throat.
Right.
But he had an opportunity, but again, he understood the hierarchy of you do not touch God's anointed. Even if God's anointed kind of gets cuckoo, cuckoo, as I call it, you don't. God has anointed him. And so ours is a hands off and pray. And, Saul was asleep. He never even knew what had ever happened. He'd have just been dead. So, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, he said he went in the cave to relieve himself, didn't he?
Mine says he came to the sheep pens along the way. A cave was there and Saul went in to relieve himself. Yes.
Relieve him, so he's peeing.
Thanks for sharing. I was just gonna let that go by.
I think that's cool.
But then after that, I think he went to.
I think the point is, I was trying to get down that road, but he was a little occupied, maybe,
Right. I never heard, I'm sorry, but I've never heard it say he relieved himself. They always said he was sleeping, but it's like, he relieved himself. I think that's kind of cute.
And also some of that actually is to how they translated. It doesn't matter, but we're gonna use the word, he was unaware of David's presence. How about that? So I think that's really,
Preoccupied.
yes, he had his mind other places. And so pretty cool. So I guess there are some things that I think we have to battle while we are in our own personal Ziklag. One of them is pride. We have to fight our pride. Why is this happening to me? I've been good. I've tried to do the things. Also, I think for a lot of us, the first thing we want is revenge. Like, who do I need to go beat up? Or, you know what? I know they want that job, but I'm gonna block them. I mean, there's nothing about that that's Jesus. Anger. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with being angry, but it's really hard, especially like when we're talking about our families, our children, people that we love, and we can't do anything. It's just hard not to want to, as I say, hit people. And then humility. We need humility. Now, also, humility doesn't mean being a baby. It does not mean that. What does humility mean? I'm sorry?
Humble.
Right, but I mean, kind of, what does that look like? Yeah, that,
What'd she say?
putting others before yourself. And I think part of when we're living in Ziklag and it's hard and we feel like we're in the cave and somebody's about to come up behind and stab us, or they've already stabbed us and we're trying to drag our dead body off. It's hard to not think, God, could you just smite them just a little bit? Just a little bit. Or just knock them in the head, whatever. It's hard. And I have to remind myself all the time, it never says that we're going to see it here. I always have to remind myself, God is keeping every tear. He's keeping everything we're doing. And he also sees what they're doing.
Does
He does. That is biblical.
he? Yes.
I definitely.
No, it says that in the Bible. This isn't like, hey, I think this is what it, and if you want, I'll look it up and get it for next time. But it says he sees it all and he keeps a record of every word that comes out of our mouth, and we will give an account. And the thing about it is, thank God for Jesus. Because if I had to give an account and didn't have Jesus,
I wouldn't want to give it.
I wouldn't even, yeah.
But don't you, don't you feel, or this is how I feel,
Sure.
the closer you are to God in your walk with him, the more you are able to understand that, yes, he does see what they're doing. And they should, yeah, I want them to pay for what they did, but at the same time, gotta let that go.
It's, and that's easy to say.
It is, but when you walk, when your faith is starting to get more, I feel for myself, when my faith gets more and more towards, towards God and He's gonna take care of it, the more I don't worry about it. Even though what people did to me in the past, there's nothing I can do about it. So why keep thinking?
I feel like it's energy wasted, like,
Yeah,
I don't wanna focus on their negative, like, okay, you wrong me, but what's the good in me trying to get you back? Cause that's not, I don't feel good for a second, but then I'm doing what you doing, so how is that making it better for me?
right. And that's just what I've learned in my walk with Christ. Cause I'm still a child. I'm not a mature Christian as I say it. I'm still a
Yeah,
child.
I look at it, it's a lesson for me to learn for next time.
Yep.
So that way, they did, regardless of what they did to me, that was their assignment. So it's easier if I look at it as, that was part of my lesson for me to learn, instead of me trying to get them back. It was easier to say, I had to learn something from this crazy situation.
But I'm sitting here thinking about when you asked the question, does he? And I go back and think about, Isaiah. And we're talking about the things that God is and what God does and all. I think that's what it is. He knows everything before it happens. He knew us before we were made. So therefore, he knows everything. What I think your question is, when you gonna see some kind of response? And it doesn't happen like that.
That's what I was just trying to say, change the view on the situation.
Yeah.
If you focus on their negative, you gonna become negative too.
Oh, no, I don't know.
That's not what she's talking about.
I know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I absolutely would like to see what happens.
In our lifetime, we want to see.
Yeah, I would like to see.
There's a few
little
things I'd like to see.
resolution.
Yeah, I would
And-
like to
and I-
see it.
But when I say that, what am I really expecting? Because this is,
I don't know.
if
what
I'm
expecting.
sympathetic, do I really want them to get what they deserve?
Yes,
Well,
I do.
I pray that I don't wanna feel like that, because if I feel like it, then I'm doing what? I'm sinning.
And that,
I'm
and it's
falling
like,
into the, excuse me,
fall into
but-
the same trap. And it's like,
so I pray that I won't think it.
I have a friend that used to tell me all the time, I said, well, I feel rejected. Well, so what? You're not rejected by God. And so every time I would say that, she'd say, well, so what? And she didn't mean it as, but her theory was, so what if everyone in this room doesn't like me? It doesn't matter because I have a relationship here. And like you said, you can't focus on that, but boy, it would be nice. Boy, it was just like, Lord, could you just please let them hear themselves?
Yeah,
Let that person hear what they're saying and doing. And it's,
But what if they never do?
what if they never do? What if they never do? And I've spent my life whining and complaining and making them look bad to everybody else and opening doors rather than blessing them and shutting doors for them and
Then, okay.
shutting
All of
doors
this is
and stuff.
extremely valid, y'all. It is all valid. Sometimes you're just tired of getting beat up and you watch people just go crazy and they succeed or whatever happens. And we're like, why? How can we make it better for ourselves and not make ourselves crazy?
you have to forget that person. The harm they did to
Okay,
you.
well, that sounds great.
But
You
truly,
can
in
forgive
the-
them, but you don't ever forget.
Okay, but
I can turn off the
Yeah.
recording and have it.
I can't do that. People are here.
But then are you recording?
I am recording and if I do, you can tell us after I turn it off. How about that? This is what I want you to think about. Connie, you said, y'all all said something that's really important. People can hurt us and try to destroy us. And we can forgive them We don't forget, but we also don't have to keep it festering. And I hear people say, I would just bless them and go on. Shut up. That's what I want to tell them. You're not blessing anybody. You're not praying for anybody. You're not, I shouldn't say that, but sometimes it feels like it's verbiage. They're just saying the right things, but yet they're not moving forward. And what I think what I have to do is, and it's been really next impossible for me, is I have to release people out of my life. And that is hard. Now, sometimes there's people we can't, it's driving me crazy, that we can't get out of our life. Maybe it's a family member or whatever. It's eventually gonna circle back around, and it is what it is. But at some point, we can say, yes, they hurt me terribly. They are, Lord, I hope you bless them. But mine is bless them and get them out of my life. Take them somewhere else, Lord. They can live somewhere else. They can worship somewhere else. They can, whatever else you put it in there. Lord, I need, and I have one person in my mind right now. We were very good friends. I'm talking really good friends. And she did some very heinous things. I'm not talking about she said something mean. I'm talking some heinous things. And she just kept trying to come back into my life. And I had her blocked on Facebook. I had her blocked on Instagram. I had her phone number. I had it so I knew if it was her, she was calling me. And she just kept calling and telling everybody, I don't know why she won't be my friend. I don't know what I ever did to her. All lies. She knows exactly what she did. Now, am I mad at her? I really can tell you right now, I have no malice. None. Now that took time.
Yeah.
But I do not have to allow her back into my life. There's nothing biblical about that. You're not going to talk me into that ever. And I used to be like, well, okay, because people be like, oh, don't be that way, Ellen. Just let her come to the Bible study. Just let her come to the whatever.
Well, I want to forgive and completely forget you.
I'd like to do that.
Well, I hate to tell you, but there's nothing biblical about, we can't forget that I'm aware of. If we have a little, that would be great.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like that new show, that Severance, where have y'all heard about that show where you have a work mind and a regular life. And what they do is they go in and do a operation where they put this thing in your brain where as soon as you step into the building, you have a work life. And then when you come out of the building, you go back into your regular life. So the idea is you have this perfect,
Real?
it's a real, no, it's not real. It's a real TV show.
Oh.
You're like, I'm thinking not happening. Yeah. No, but the whole point is the way they sell it for the TV show is that this will keep your work and life balance because you don't have to worry about work when you're at home and you don't have to worry about, it's crazy as a bed bug. But my point is, if we can't forget. So what I used to do is I would put it in a little box and sit it over here and just leave it over there. Well, eventually it's going to rot. And you have to just open it up and go, yeah, this hurts like the devil. And okay, I'm going to go ahead because I know you want to say something off camera, as I call it, off recorded. So I'm going to stop the recording now. And if I can get this thing to not give me a hard time. What is this thing doing? Come on, you piece of crap. Stop sharing my screen.
I didn't say it's so good.
I don't care. This is who I am. If they don't like it, they don't have to watch it.
Sharing is good, but
I can't, I'm not, it
you're
won't.
not recording, you're just sharing.
I was doing both at one point.
Oh, okay.
Well, if it's not recording, what did I do wrong? Y'all heard it say go.
Yes.
I think you did record because it's supposed to say recording off. Now.
Okay. I was sharing my screen is what I was doing. So see if at the top it says recording. Hi, all the people out there that think I'm a ding dong. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording now because what was happening is I was looking at stop. Nope, not that. Right.